According to ESPN analytics, the Green Bay Packers have blank percentage chance to now make the playoffs.
Right.
Tausch, what do you think that number is?
I am going to guess 43%.
God, that's amazing. Good job reading his tweets.
No, what is it? What's the number?
It's 43%. We all know you cheated.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good guess.
I can't tell if he's bluffing or not.
No, he's totally bluffing. He read it.
Okay.
You could see him
I
on
told
the
you I
video.
read Lipinski all the time.
Yeah, and you read the State Journal today about the offensive line.
I think that's actually, and this sounds crazy. I think it's
That's
too low.
I think
it is.
I think it's too high.
Where does 565 Analytics Collective
565 has it at 76%.
Wow.
76.
Wow.
And it goes to this is uncanny. It goes to 99.8 if they beat the Chiefs.
Wow.
I'm sorry,
Crazy.
what percentage does it go to if they beat the Chiefs?
99.8.
We go with our gut.
That's what Jerriot,
565.
Klinkster and Jerriot, I think, are on board with that. I'm sure they'll run the numbers maybe a little tighter than I do, and we'll see. But you beat the Chiefs, you get to 6-6. With that schedule left, you're going to get to 9 just basically by.
Oh, be careful.
Not going to say it.
You have them 33% higher than the ESPN analytics now.
No. Oh, is it right now?
And then you have them taking another 23% jump if they beat the Chiefs.
565 Analytics.
Well, I just saw.
We go with our guts.
I just saw ESPN put up that the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC. Everybody agrees. They beat the best team in the AFC. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, it's true. Also, there are 10 teams at 500 or better in the AFC. Not quite as many in the NFC.
Raiders might make the playoffs.
That Jets first round or second round pick is going to be high. God, they stink.
Yeah.
Imagine we get O'Connell and Devontae versus Love and Watson in the Super Bowl this year. Oh, man.
All right, let's get to Erica before we really go off the deep end, Jesse. Erica, good morning. Long time no talk, and we are eager for your insights. How you doing?
I'm good. Unfortunately, I don't think the Packers will make the playoffs. And I don't think Love will be the one to ruin anything or blow it or whatever. It'll be the defense. I guess I was surprised that they gave up, 500 yards to the Lions? I was like, whoa. I'm like, we were dominating there. And I'm like, they gave up 500 yards? Or over 5? Well, whatever. And will I be disappointed? No, because it was a learning year, and I'm excited for them to be on Hard Knocks. I know that all of the Aaron Rodgers haters are loving this to no extreme. I mean,
Josh DiMaggio is for sure. Yes.
Right. We even have. I don't know what's considered like real Green Bay media, but I call them like fake people who have like YouTube accounts and all that stuff, and they're posting comments from the New York Jets who are all upset because of Hackett and Aaron Rodgers not being able to play, and it's funny, and then they're retweeting stuff and Facebooking stuff, and yeah, we got rid of him, and now he's their problem, and whatever. I don't think we owe Goody any sort of apology, because until we can compare what Rodgers does with the Jets and Love does with the Packers, then we can talk, because if Aaron Rodgers would have taken the Jets to the Super Bowl this year, and let's say Jordan Love takes them to the playoffs, I guess what would people's opinion be? I mean,
so Erica, let me ask you this though. So
yes,
listen, I'm still a Rodgers fan. I still want to see him do well, but you can't, even through your Rodgers-colored glasses, look at this now and say that Goody didn't get this right, because of an injury. But that's part of the deal. Goody got this right. Can we admit that? Erica?
The Packers play against far worse teams than Aaron Rodgers did with the Packers in his starting season.
She's not admitting it.
Erica, can we admit that Goody got this right? Erica, it hurts to say yes, but Erica?
I don't know I mean,
Erica.
how is it right? Because the Jordan Love looks good and the Packers are doing decent and
the
they have
Jets have
chances to
fallen
make
on
the playoffs.
the Jets have fallen flat, and the Packers are going to get their second
All
round
right,
pick. And
Erica, let me help you out here, okay? First of all, because I'm seeing a number of folks, including our own Josh DiMaggio, who is blowing up my
Josh
phone.
just a hater. He's a hater.
I understand. All right, we all know you hate Aaron Rodgers. We're good with that, Josh. But Alan Lazard is surely more productive if Aaron Rodgers is playing. He's not that good without Aaron Rodgers. That could be said of a number of wide receivers. Randall Cobb is not a healthy scratch if Aaron Rodgers is playing. But he's not. And their quarterback options in New York are Zach Wilson, who clearly shouldn't have been the second overall pick, and Tim Boyle, who I really, really like. But even I have to admit, Tim Boyle does not belong starting games in the National Football League. He doesn't. He's not good enough. Great dude, great story, but not good enough. And that pains me to say because I root for Tim.
Because you like him, right?
A lot.
Yep.
Great guy. But he's not good enough. So, yes, they are a mess. There's no denying it. One of my biggest disappointments of this year, and I think you are with me on this, Erica, is that I wanted to see these two trains go down parallel tracks. I wanted to see what Rodgers did in New York. I wanted to see if they were a playoff team, a Super Bowl team. I hope he's not. I hope he's not so desperate that with where that team is at, he's going to try and play on that Achilles 12, 13 weeks after it was surgically repaired. I hope he doesn't do that. I think the Jets are doing him a favor by stinking now, so they prevent that from occurring, frankly. But the bottom line is we all got robbed of that opportunity to watch these two seasons unfold together. So, yes, the Jets are terrible, but I don't think this is what they would look like if Rodgers doesn't rupture his Achilles. At the same time, the Packers are better than I expected, and I'm excited about that. This has been fun. This has been a fun roller coaster, except when I'm enduring the pendulum swings that can be a little violent at times. But we can, Erica, you and I can still be Aaron Rodgers believers and acknowledge the idea that they probably made the right decision to move on when they did. Because
well, they have to, because otherwise you were paying.
One last thing. I would have loved to have seen Aaron Rodgers, sound graph face here, okay?
Ooh, a self-described sound graph.
I would have loved to have seen Aaron Rodgers embrace the idea of stocking the shelves with a bunch of young talent and embrace the idea of helping them come along by being the fun uncle who taught them all how to play at the NFL level and was patient and kind and was able to handle the growing pains better than he did last year. I would have loved to have seen Aaron Rodgers with Luke Musgrave and Jaden Reed and Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watson and Tucker Kraft and Dontavion Wicks. And I think if Aaron Rodgers is honest, he could say, hey, maybe I should have considered the possibility that these guys could extend my career because they can do a hell of a lot of things that no matter how much I love Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard, they can't do. I would have loved to have seen that. I would have loved it if at the end of the season last year, Goody had come and said, look, I'm ready to move on to Jordan, but I think our season this year went the way it did because you broke your thumb. I don't think you're washed. But I want to give you all these young guys who got plenty of picks to do it with. I want to give you a bunch of young guys, but you got to be able to bring them along, man. You can't get pissed at them all the time. You can't scream and yell and go on McAfee and talk about all the mental errors you keep making. I would have loved to have seen that. It did not happen. And I don't think it was ever going to happen. Now, will he acknowledge someday when he's writing a book, probably with someone else, that he maybe should have embraced that idea? I don't know. But I would have loved to have seen it. I would have loved to have seen him with Luke Musgrave and Jaden Reed. And we never got to. This is the way they needed to go because he was not going to embrace that. And that's on him for choosing to be that way. And he gets to choose how he wants to be. But that is a story that if I could go back in Doc Brown's time machine, I would love to have seen the same team with that guy as the quarterback and seen where they would have gone with that kind of talent and a quarterback that's a Hall of Famer. Erica, can you join me in that pipe dream?
Yeah, and Goody wasn't going to do that because Jordan Love was his pick that he traded up for. So to tell Aaron Rodgers, yes, we need you, we want you, take these young guys under your arms, stick with the Packers until, retirement does you part, then Goody would have to get rid of Jordan Love. And what would that look like? Goody wouldn't have done that. Are you kidding me?
Probably not.
I would have loved to seen Aaron Rodgers with these young guys. I mean, everybody who thinks he isn't interested in being a mentor, I guess on Pat McAfee, I don't know if he still calls Jordan Love or texts him or FaceTimes him, but
he does.
He said a couple episodes ago that he's proud of him and he sends him texts or tweets or whatever they do together. So I guess, this Uncle Aaron business, I think he likes it.
Yeah, I would have. Thanks for the call. I'm glad we worked through this together. Tausch, that dream scenario that I gave you, preposterous, ridiculous, whatever you want to call it, but it would have been really interesting. Really, really interesting.
I think, obviously, Erica is still not wanting to come to grips with the fact that the Packers made the right decision.
By the way, 464 yards for the Lions on Thanksgiving.
And I get that. But this concept that Aaron Rodgers could have kind of stayed another year, that's not far-fetched at all. I think had Aaron embraced the fact, hey, I like these. What did I say after that Bears game last year? When they went down there and they won and kind of turned that thing around. Mm-hmm. Had Aaron just come and said that, I think it would have been a fascinating watch, and I think embracing this piece, that was never going to be how he approached it. And that press conference after that game was abundantly clear. And here we go. And by the way, I think from a Packer fan standpoint, it's the right thing to do. Who knows if Aaron pops his Achilles? I don't know.
Right?
But he was getting older, and they, I think, believed to a certain degree that Jordan Love was going to be good. I think everybody up there would say, if you saw that performance on Thanksgiving against the Lions, whew, man, we know what we're doing. That's what I think people. I think people now, for everybody that was still kind of wishy-washy, I don't know, there is a firm belief by almost everybody up in that building that he is the guy now. After seeing that,
and it won't be shaken if he plays poorly Sunday night.
No, that
or
was a
as
solidifier.
Clunker.
That was a validator and a solidifier, and he did both.